To qualify for a college scholarship, do you think you need a 4.0 grade average and top SAT scores? Well, think again. You're about to meet a young woman who received enough free money to pay for her full education at a top 20 university, all the way through her doctoral degree. Take a look.
Kristina Ellis was an average student who grew up in a poverty-stricken home after the death of her father. In high school, she realized she would have to pay for college herself. So she spent countless hours in the library researching grant and scholarship opportunities. Well, her hard work paid off. Kristina earned over $500,000 in grants and scholarships for college and graduated from Vanderbilt University, a top 20 school. In her book, Confessions of a Scholarship Winner, Kristina shares strategies to help others graduate from college debt-free.
Please welcome to the 700 Club, Kristina Ellis. It's great to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
You may not be a genius, but you have a lot of wisdom. You listened to a motivating comment from your mom when you were, what, a freshman in high school?
Yes.
What did she tell you?
The very first day of my freshman year of high school, my mom basically sat me down and she said, I love you, I believe in you, but there is no way I can support you financially after you graduate. So you need to start thinking about how you're gonna pay for college. And even though that was really hard to choke down in that moment, that was one of the best gifts she could have ever given me, because it got me started to think about college and what I could do to win scholarships and afford an education.
What did you think immediately? I mean, did you feel a little bit overwhelmed as a young person?
I did. At first, I kind of got defensive. I was like, why are you telling me this? It's my first day of high school. But I knew she was doing it out of love, and she started encouraging me. And she actually said that day, I'm telling you this because I do believe in you. And I know that you're not meant to live in poverty your whole life. Like, I know that you've overcame a lot of obstacles, and it's just felt like one challenge after another. But it can get better.
Speaking of that, you say that part of the whole scholarship application process is telling your story. What do you mean by that, and how do you do it?
Well, a lot of students get so focused on sharing all these achievements and their accomplishments, but a lot of times the judges want to see who you are as a person. They want to see your character. They do want to see the triumphs, but they want to see what you had to go through to get there. And judges can fall in love with personal stories just like we all do.
Yeah. And so you did that, and you learned to cultivate some behaviors. You know, a lot of times I think all of us, not just young people, I mean, it's older adults as well. We want life to just give us the good things and the blessings as we need them. But you cultivated some behaviors that actually helped you reach your goal. Talk about that.
Absolutely. Well, I started really doing my homework and learning what it takes to stand out in a scholarship application. And I learned that judges love to see commitment and achievement. And I was looking at my life thinking, okay, I'm kind of an average student. My test scores are not great. I'm about average in everything I do. What can I do to help me stand out? And I learned that volunteer work was an area that I could really stand out and I could make a difference, and I felt great doing it. So I started getting involved in activities, and because my mom told me my freshman year, I had 4 years to build up my scholarship resume. So I logged over 1,000 hours of community service while I was in high school.
What do you think is the biggest misconception that young people have about what it takes to get a scholarship?
A lot of students think there's no way that I could ever win one, when there are actually over 1.5 million separate awards given every year for all sorts of reasons. And judges aren't just looking for perfect students. They don't just want to see the valedictorians. They don't just want to see the star athletes. They want to see students who have potential to go out and make a difference in the world.
How important is it to be well-rounded? Because you just mentioned, you know, strong students, strong athletes. A lot of times people who are really, really good at something specific like that don't have a well-rounded life. They're very devoted to one thing or the other. How important is it to be well-rounded?
It's very important to be well-rounded. College can be challenging. There's different things that are thrown at you that you're not expecting. You have to be able to balance personal life and school life, and judges know that you need to be able to have that balance. So scholarship application judges are looking for students who can handle that challenge.
When you looked at volunteer hours, how did you decide what you would do? Did you look for something that you had a natural interest in? Did you just look for a place that had a need for someone? How did How did you decide what direction you would take?
Well, I started just doing things that I loved. Honestly, I was having fun doing it. I started volunteering at our animal shelter and in nursing homes and singing and just doing things that I didn't even realize completely at the time that I was doing things that were going to help me quite as much as I did, because I was just having a ball. And one of the things I talk about in my book is creating your own opportunities. I'm from a smaller town, so after 1,000 hours of community service, I went through quite a few of the activities. And I was thinking, what else can I do? And I love missions work. I love working in Haiti and Africa. And I actually started my own shoe drive and started sending shoes that people just discard and normally throw away overseas to countries where people are dying from parasites entering their feet. And it was such an incredible project for me. It was a lot of fun, but that was also changing people's lives and helping potentially save lives.
I see in your generation a real drive in young men, young women to do things like that, to do things that are cause related, that matter, that make a difference. How important are you? I mean, you can find that right in your own community. Community service hours, they matter, huh?
Absolutely, absolutely. You know, there's a lot of darkness. There's a lot of people that are struggling. Yeah. There are a lot of frustrating situations, but when you give back, it can make you feel so much better and lift you out of your own darkness. So it's great to see students out there making a difference.
So you started as a freshman in high school. What are some practical steps that you would give to young people who might be watching right now who are saying, maybe there's hope for me that I'm not going to owe $100,000 when I come out of school? What practical steps does one begin to take?
Absolutely. Well, the first thing is to start early. The sooner you get started, the more time you have to really build your application. I'm so fortunate. My mom did tell me my freshman year, because I had 4 years to really build that up.
And then you're not racing to the finish line at the last minute.
Absolutely. And then do your homework. There are so many great steps that you can start taking immediately to build an application up and really help you stand out in the process. So I've laid out a roadmap in my book, Confessions of a Scholarship Winner, so that students don't have to spend hours and hours in the library researching, where do I even start to win scholarships? I want to walk you through the process and help you win scholarships.
Tell us what you won.
I won over $500,000 in scholarships for college.
Unbelievable. And not just for undergrad, but this takes you all the way to the finish line of whatever you want to do, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, all the way through a doctoral degree.
And here she is. On top of that, she's an author. I mean, remarkable young woman. Confessions of a Scholarship Winner. Kristina Ellis is our guest today. We've only just begun to scratch the surface of the information she outlines in her book. It's full of strategies for winning scholarships, winning grants. Her book is called Confession of a Scholarship Winner, available nationwide. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.